Hey everyone, this is Leslie from Little Miss Petite and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I will be doing a double review of my favorite author by Kasie West, and this is by Your Side and The Distance Between Us. This is both a teen fiction YA contemporary novel, and I recommend this for people who love romance, teen life, and anything who likes cute and endearing and any teen social life issues. So let's get started with the first book, which is By Your Side. What I really like about this book is that it's very easy to read and it's very unputdownable. Once I started on the first chapter, on the very first page, I just couldn't wait to finish each page and each chapter off. I probably finished this book in 2 sittings and I really love the plot and the story. The plot is that Autumn Collins, who belongs in she's not exactly very rich, but she's well off. Her family has enough money for her to go through college and she gets trapped in a library over the weekend with the school's bad boy, which is Dex. It has such an intriguing and very interesting plot that who doesn't want to be stuck in the library with a very cute and mysterious boy? And it's like I could hear every book nerd and bookworm squealing and like hearts fluttering. And they get stuck over the weekend, and at first things were tense and awkward between them, and as they got to know each other, they begin to warm up to each other and take an interest in getting to know the other person. And what Autumn discovers about Dax is that there's more to him than the bad boy reputation that he carries around. He's a bit of a loner, and there's even rumors that he's been to juvie, he's had trouble with the law, and he bounces around foster homes. I like the romance that blossomed between them. I felt like it developed gradually, and it wasn't insta-lovey, and it didn't happen like in the snap of a finger. What you really like about these books is that Kasie West really writes characters that are very interesting, they're very relatable, and you can just identify and connect with them. Autumn is very witty and sarcastic, and I just like her little comebacks and one-liners. That it's just really entertaining and fun. I feel I can connect with her because she's down to earth, and although she belongs in a nice, well-off family, she also has personal issues. The book deals and touches upon social anxiety disorder, and she finds solace with Dax, and she feels he calms her down and distracts her from everything else that's happening around them. Huge plus about this book are the characters. They're very likable and very lovable. They're easy to relate to, and I think a lot of readers connect with the main characters. They have very interesting personas. Both the main character, Autumn, and Dex are like 2 different people. They seem to fit together and connect with each other very well. So I highly recommend this for teenagers who like nice, romantic, fluffy stories, and it's a quick, fun read. Like, I felt the pages fly by so fast, and I just couldn't put the book down. I really enjoyed this story, and I highly recommend it for teens and even young adults and adults who want something light and fun and just a really nice, good weekend read. There are some things that I didn't really find very realistic in this book. For example, it's hard to believe that while they were trapped for a weekend in the library, they couldn't use the landline phones to call for help, or use the computers, or even like Autumn's friends didn't even realize that she was gone, and they didn't even bother to go back to the library to check on her. So I feel like it's a little bit unrealistic. But that's just a small point. As well as Dax's persona and his backstory, I felt like it wasn't explored as much. The author could have fleshed him out a little bit more, and I really wish that we could have gotten more about his backstory and his family background in that. And I really wish we could have gotten to know him a lot better. So that's probably the only 2 minor things that I really didn't find so much great about this book. But overall, this is a nice read and I highly recommend it. So for the next review, this is The Distance Between Us. And I fell in love with the story and the characters just as much as the first book. I really like the way she writes characters and stories. The romance and fluff are so fun and really entertaining to read, and the little teenage girl in me is like squealing with laughter and just feeling my heart flutter. This is about Cayman Mayers, and she owns a doll shop store with her mother. They are on the poor side of the social hierarchy. One of her customers, a rich guy who is a hotel heir, and he is very flash, he's very handsome, very charming, and his name is Xander. At first, like, she really didn't like him. Views the rich with disdain and resentment because of her mother's past with rich people. So she has a bad outlook with rich people. She and Xander didn't get along at first. Just like in the first story, there was awkwardness and tension between them. Xander took an interest in her because she was a unique and different girl who treated him normally, who didn't treat him as a celebrity or as a very important person. So over time, he started coming around to the store a lot more often and started to get to know her a little better, and then things warmed up between them. Cayman started to like Xander more, but she doesn't want to reveal to her mother that there's something going on between them because her mother doesn't like rich people, she's biased about them, and she has negative point of view about the rich and the wealthy people. So for a while, she has to keep it a secret. What I really like about this story as well is the plot. The plot is pretty much rich guy meets poor girl. They're very unlikely. They're a very unlikely couple. They're at the opposite sides of the scale. One guy is very, very wealthy and rich and popular and famous, and the other one is just a struggling store clerk who buys her clothes at the thrift store, secondhand. Their shop is in danger of closing. The plot is intriguing. I like how the romance unfolds between them and how their feelings started to develop for each other. I really like Cayman's character. She's very sarcastic, witty, and smart. And throughout the whole book, she's just very sarcastic. And I like her one-liners just as pretty much as the first character in the book. I feel like Autumn and Cayman are just one person. They have the same personality, but the guys are a bit different. So that's probably one point I noticed about the two books. The two main characters are very similar in persona. Even like their one-liners and sarcastic wit is very similar to each other. She's very likable and very relatable. You can really relate with her, how she struggles, her mother and the store weighing upon her shoulders. She has a lot of stress at school. She often has to give up a lot of her time just to help out at the doll shop, at the doll store. She's always struggling of what she wants to do once she finishes high school. I think Cayman is very likable, and the reader connects with her personality as well. You can identify with her problems and with the issues that she faces. And Xander, he's a very charming and very cute guy. Like, if I have a book boyfriend, it would be Xander. He's probably my dream guy too, if I were in my teens. Again, this is an unrealistic story. I just don't find this happening in real life. I don't find a very rich person falling for someone on the lower social economic class. I think it's a very, very rare thing if it does happen in real life. But one of the negative points about this book is that I think the ending feels a little bit too rushed. The author kind of ended the story too abruptly. And there's still a lot of questions floating around. Like, what happened to Xander and Cayman at the end? What happened to her mother, her grandparents? But I strongly recommend this book for all teens who love romances and a light, fluffy read. This is a good weekend read. I feel like the pages flew by so fast and I couldn't put the book down. I probably finished this in 2 sittings as well, and I just couldn't wait to finish it. Like, once I started, I got hooked onto the story and I loved the characters so much. I connected with them really well, and I can identify myself with Cayman. Kasie West has a really good talent for writing characters, and she writes a lot of interesting plots in her stories as well. I highly recommend you grab a copy of this book along with By Your Side and check her writing out. Please check out her books, and you can see for yourself. It's very enjoyable, and it's just very light-hearted. If you want something light and entertaining to read, it's a really nice book to read over the weekend or over your holiday. 5 stars. I really like this book. So that's about it for my book review. That's a wrap-up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more videos in the future, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!